feel like will be able to deal with it. But Kestrel Blackfeather, you want to talk about flexibility. Both of those two can go either role, either build path, and have great success. So the Kestrel ban, it had to come out there.
Arden.
Yep.
I was going to say the other thing that's still open as a captain hero, and that's perhaps is the reason why they banned the Chewinwalker, is because Arden is open, so they went for it. And now, like you mentioned, Sui just touched on it. Grace is open if Pain Gaming decides to go in that direction.
Rona as well could be something that comes out here in the jungle for the side of Pain Gaming.
That'd be surprising.
It would be surprising, but at the same time, you need something to deal with this Blackfeather, and Rona has been the only pick that we have seen that has consistently been able to go toe-to-toe with a Blackfeather.
You can do Grace, and Koshka Vox is a very strong composition that Pain can run here. And they can play Koshka, and with the Grace, that can put a lot of pressure onto this Blackfeather with the quick rotations coming from the Koshka and the Grace, the Benediction that she can then use. Oh, they actually go with the Baptiste, and then will they go with the Grace here or switch it up?
And the difficulty for Pain Gaming.
Baptiste Catherine is still open. That's a composition that used to be so strong a very long time.
Vox is always the one. Vox is always the carry that goes along with that.
I mean, it just brings so much CC out to the game, and that's why it used to be so strong. The Fearsome Shades with the Catherine captains would carry.
The reason why that comp kind of fell off and no one really plays it anymore, because Crucible got a buff. It's 1.5 seconds now in terms of the reflex block that it gives. So that's a 3-second reflex block to counter both the Silence and the Fearsome Shade. And I think that's why this comp has not been picked as much. But Pain can try to run it and see if it could still work against Ace here and catch him off guard.
I actually think the reason why it fell off was because teams started knowing how to play ranged compositions against it. Things like the Sky, things like the Kestrel that can keep their distance, then run backwards when the initiations come through. With Blackfeather and Arden already picked up, that's not a choice.
There's also the fact that, we've seen it's not going to come through here as they do grab the Grace, but we had also seen the fact that it got banned away every single time. It got broken up all the time, and so teams just stopped running it because they knew they weren't going to be able to get it. So they do lock in the Grace for Pain Gaming. They really liked the Grace last game, just being able to stay alive that little bit longer. But now Ace Gaming have the option of, are they going to run this Blackfeather as a weapon power or Crystal? It all depends on this last
They can also do Baron with a CP Blackfeather and just play the poke game and just jump around. And once someone's low, Blackfeather can go in and follow with the Baron jump jet onto that person, just burst them down before the Grace can Divine Intervention. However, there's no poison share if they do decide to pick that composition.
I do think that would be a better choice for them, trying to pick up a Baron, play the range game instead of having a dive composition. Because if you have a dive composition against a Vox, Baptiste, and Grace, that's 3 heroes that excel at kiting away and just keeping your opponents away from your carries. So I would prefer to see them go for something like the Blackfeather or even the Sky Weapon Power that we've seen from North American teams.
Absolutely. You can see there, Ace mulling over their options. We were commenting in the first draft of the day how decisive they were. The decision in the end will be the Samuel for Tassa, which means we're going to see the Blackfeather going weapon power in the lane as well. Unless we see some craziness in a lane Samuel, doesn't seem too likely to me.
I feel like the idea here behind this composition for Ace is AoE damage with the Samuel, make it difficult for the Grace to choose who she's going to put the Divine Intervention on. And if you're getting the splash damage, if you're getting 2 targets low, she can only Divine Intervention 1 at a time. Blackfeather can execute the second target before the first Divine Intervention finishes.
Yeah, I mean, until she gets Echo, but I do agree with you. The Samuel could very well work. However, I'm going to go with Pain Gaming when it comes to predictions, just because they have the Vox, they have the Baptiste, and Blackfeather, because of the Samuel, will have to be weapon power, so he's going to be diving and playing in that melee range.
All right, it's time to get on into this game. Predictions, gentlemen, as we go on in. Who is going to be taking this one? We'll start with you this time, Iraqi.
I mean, as I mentioned, Pain Gaming.
Pain Gaming?
I think Ace Gaming is going to be able to pick this one up. They're going to be refocused after that loss.
All right.
I'm glad it's not 3-0. I love Pain Gaming's draft, but I have to give this to Ace because Tassa Samuel is awesome.
All right, we have 2 for Ace, 1 for Pain. We'll see how this one is going to pan out. It's time to pass it back up to Medic and Denominate and get on into this quarterfinal.
Thank you very much, Munch. And what a quarterfinal it is turning out to be. I don't think anyone expected Pain Gaming to be able to take a game off of Ace and not even to get the predictions of Iraqi Zoro in this game too. Basically means they've already won it, right?
They very well could have. They turned things around and really kicked things into high gear for game number 2. And as you just mentioned, they won the vote there of Iraqi Zoro. If you're starting to swing some of the analyst desk, you made a huge statement, and you guys should really be proud of yourselves.
That is definitely true, and we'll have to see how they're able to play out this composition, because we have a lot of power picks on the side of Ace. You've got the Black Feather, you've got the Samuel as well. Tassa Samuel is known to be incredibly strong. We saw him beat TSM with it earlier on. We'll have to see how well it goes in this game. It's game 3 of our third quarterfinal of the day. Ace up against Pain. 1-1 is the scoreline. So we've still got at least 2 games of juicy action to go.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And as you just mentioned, Tassa's Samuel has been a very strong pick for him. It's one that they really started using with the Kestrel in the lane. We were talking about the Mage and the Kestrel earlier, so we know he has experience on this hero. And Creation on Black Feather, such a game-changing hero, is definitely scary to go into.
But we've seen Pain don't really care about the odds. They don't really care about how scary the enemy opposition is. They are very willing to take every fight that they can. No fight going to happen over the Elder Treant just yet. Both teams posturing towards it, but you're not going to see any action erupt. Ace Gaming are going to come back towards it, but still decide against it, and it's probably going to be a much slower start between these 2 teams in this game.
Yeah, definitely looking to be. The Baptiste will take a little bit of time to come online. He's going to need to get some crystal power. Getting towards that Shatter Glass is really where he's going to start to be a huge threat. If he's left alone early, a couple crystal bits can be huge for Baptiste if you're managing your soul shards properly. But when he's going to be able to come through and get those massive AoE burst damage, that's going to be that first tier 3 item completion, is that huge spike. Whereas, the Vox, going to take a little bit more time. Samuel, he's going to have a very early spike in the level 2. He has that Drifting Dark. The way you play that hero from level 1 to level 2 changes very quickly. But throughout the mid and late game, he's going to need to get like 3 items online.
Creation's taking a bit of burst here from Muster and Falcon Dorian. In from the side is just We No Farah, but Creation will be able to retreat back underneath the turret. Waiting on those first item spikes, really, for both these teams. But Tassa's willing to trade into just We No Farah. Holy Nova does come out to try and distract Ace Gaming, so Muster popping that healing flask as well. Falcon Dorian's going to be re-engaged upon, and both teams incredibly low here, but neither team able to find that final shot, that final kill to get the first blood in this matchup.
Yeah, definitely not, but I do like, over on the side of Pain Gaming, as Sui had mentioned, he does like the draft. I do as well. I really like the combination of the Grace and the Vox that they had last game. And, are they going to be able to pull off the same kind of feat? Are they going to be able to bring game number 3 to the side of Brazil and upset Ace Gaming?
Well, what is it that makes this combination so strong? Because both you and Arakizoyo have said, I really like this draft from Pain Gaming because they've got the Vox, because they've got the Grace. But what is it about that combination that really stands out to you?
Well, the Black Feather specifically is very good at getting onto the back line and sticking onto that back line, able to get a lot of damage down, a lot of burst damage. The Divine Intervention that comes out of Grace is one key useful tool that she has, able to cut down some of that incoming damage by a percentage, as well as then also provide that big base heal at the end of it. You can get the Echo queued up again. It gives Vox the sustainability that he needs with a hero like Black Feather to dance around the fight, to build up the breaking point stacks, and then turn the aggression. The fight might start with Vox on the back foot. Those breaking point stacks start to build up. All of a sudden, Black Feather's dead, Samuel's dead, Arden's dead. You can really have a game-changing impact with the Vox if you're able to live long enough.
So we're waiting for that disengaging fights from Pain. They're trying to back off. They're trying to wait until those stacks are built up and then go for the re-engage. We'll have to see exactly how the fights pan out, because Ace will not want to give Pain an inch. They'll want to keep on the aggressive path. They'll want to get the poke out from Tassa as well.
Yeah, and Tassa's done a good job coming up into the lane, making smart rotations. Look at the damage!
That's a lot of burst. Tassa going to get some more damage onto this We No Farah, and the final Malice hits its mark. Great stuff from Ace as they take first blood, and they're looking for a little bit more. Falcon Dorian perhaps a little bit overextended, but answers back with some bad mojo, and Ace do need to be a bit cautious because Muster and Falcon Dorian exactly how strong this is for Ace.
Yeah, both sides use that minion candy, and now Ace, they're going to look to get some damage down here, and Muster has to be so incredibly careful right now.
Is Creation a little bit overpushed here, because just We No Farah has rejoined. The Vanguard gets Creation out of range of the Holy Nova, so just We No Farah unable to get the knock-up. Muster healing up, another bad mojo onto Tassa in that backline. The Ordain comes out as well. Here's the knock-up, but it's only really going to connect onto Youngju, and now Tassa will try and re-engage. So Muster not quite as healthy as he'd like to be, just about gets away towards the backline. And Pain Gaming are standing their ground, but slowly their health bars are diminishing.
Yeah, and Ace is doing such a good job maintaining control over the wave here. Again, Samuel's so good at coming up, the splash damage, you can help clear the wave while damaging the enemy heroes. And again, if they're able to force the enemy out of a fight, they don't even have to get the kill, but if you can turn your attention onto the turret when the enemy is too low to actually do anything about it, then you can take that objective early, you can get the positional advantage as well as that big burst of gold in your pockets. That might be the difference of finishing off a tier 3 before your opponents. That can lead to the win in the next fight a little bit sooner.
And that's exactly what you see right now. Tassa has the Dragon's Eye, Falcon Dorian going through a little bit of shield, hasn't been able to complete that Shatter Glass, hasn't been able to hit that power spike that we talked about on this Batiste.
Yeah, and Youngju's getting to that point where he's going to be able to soak up a lot of the damage that Falcon Dorian. If he plays far enough forward and allows Tassa to stay in the back line, it's going to be very, very difficult for Falcon Dorian to get a bad mojo to land onto Tassa.
Well, Dane is going to go in onto Creation. Good double knock up though. They're looking for the fight, and that's a lot of damage on towards Creation, but the Fountain will heal him up. Not quite able to find that final bit of DPS. Muster with that Poison Shiv is applying the Mortal Wounds, which reduce the healing from the Fountain, but still, Ace were able to get just enough gains. Now Pain Gaming are the ones using the minion candy to try and control the lane. I feel like this is going to be the story of the game for a little while. Another double knockup, and there's the kill onto Tassa, and Pain Gaming are the ones to strike first in this lane matchup. It's so close between these two teams, a lot closer than any of us expected it to be.
Yeah, it definitely is, and that fight really started to go the way of Pain off the back of a beautifully timed Fearsome Shade coming out of Falcon Dorian. Oh, Mr. Muster.
Another knock up on towards Youngju as they look for the further kill. And once again, Pain Gaming just able to capitalize on perhaps a little bit of mispositioning there from Ace.
Yeah, Pain starting to take an edge early, which they were able to do last game with the Vox. Jesuino Farah not quite at that level 6 mark where the Divine Intervention comes online, but Tassa.
Ordain goes down onto Tassa to try and lock him out. They will get the turret, and Pain Gaming now on the retreat. Muster there, but the Fountain is used. They're going to try and chase down onto Jesuino Farah, but I don't think they have enough chase on Jesuino Farah. That is bold, to say the least. In the face of the Korean champions, you flash them a kiss and say goodbye. And now Ace, they want retribution. They want a little bit of a fight after they've been disrespected by the Pain Gaming Rona, that they're still unable to find the kills here. And once again, Pain Gaming able to escape. What a great early game from this Brazilian lineup.
Yeah, they were able to escape, but I think this is going to be Ace taking down this turret. Falcon Dorian is coming up, but there's not really anything he's going to be able to do at this point. The turret is going to drop incredibly quickly, but now Ace have to make sure they get out. Sir Muster and Jesuino Farah, they did recall, topped up their health, purchased a couple items here. We obviously see the Breaking Point and the Poison Shiv are now both complete on Sir Muster, as well as he's sitting on that level 8 infusion in his pocket, because again, he did just take that opportunity to hit the shot.
We've seen a lot of fights between these two teams early on in the games, but when we've had the early advantage for Ace, they are the team that tend to win. It's Pain Gaming who've been able to hold out these games, get later on, and then take the win at the end. We'll have to see if this game sticks to the script or if Ace Gaming are able to overcome this slower early game.
This is probably the moment where Ace Gaming is going to really have a huge opportunity to turn things back into their favor. Youngju has completed the Crucible now, and that's really been the downfall of Ace in the past couple fights, is they've been locked up by the Fearsome Shade, they've been locked up by the Holy Nova. We don't have a reflex block on Creation or Tassa, so this Crucible is absolutely key to Ace, and if they are going to be able to pull out a victory here.
Muster's going to try and get the Trien, and we'll have to watch that Crucible. We'll have to be aware, because that's not when you want to use it. And now Ace Gaming realize they have to get the hell out of here, because otherwise they're going to get caught out. The wait for it comes out, looking for Creation, the Fearsome Shade as well, but no capitalization from Pain. They're just trying to force Ace back. Muster stepping forward now, tries to get onto Tassa, down to about half HP, but Ace can just wait for the Crystal Sentry here. The Trien will go across towards Pain. That Crucible back up in 26 seconds. We will have to see if Ace are able to slow this game down. The Holy Nova is going to connect, but it's only onto Youngju. The stun coming out as well from the Ordained. Creation in that front line. He's getting chunked out as well. Jesuino Farah doing a lot of work. Has the intervention if he needs it. Has the Fountain as well for the healing. And once again, Ace just have to get away.
Yeah, Jesuino Farah did use the Fountain to save himself at the end of that fight, but he does still have that Divine Intervention, as you mentioned. And Pain Gaming, incredibly impressive. And we were just talking about the Crucible.
Creation's coming in for a flank here. Youngju was very low. Here comes Jesuino Ferrer as well, trying to get the intervention down onto Falcondorian. The Crucible used early once again. We'll have to see if this fight continues to erupt. The Ordain onto Tassa. There's the Fountain in response. Ace Gaming trying to stay alive, using that Crystal Sentry if they can, but Mustard doesn't give a damn as he jumps in towards that backline, and now Pain Gaming are in a 3v2 situation. Creation's gonna jump in though, trying to get the steals. Can he get these 2 kills at the end? Look at how low both these teams are. Falcondorian waiting. He's got the Fearsome Shade. He pops it out, and he will force away Creation and Youngju, a 1-for-1 trade in the jungle.
That was such a crazy long fight. You know, it was really 2 engages that kind of just flowed together into one. You know, as we were mentioning, that Crucible accidentally got popped by Youngju, and Pain Gaming immediately turned their attention. They capitalized immediately on that mistake. They weren't able to find a whole lot, but they end up finding 1 kill. They give up a kill in return, but that's as far as it goes. Neither team really loses out on too much here, and now we're just going to be getting back into a couple rotations, looking for that next fight. Tassa still sitting on just the Dragon's Eye for his tier 3s. He's just now picked up the Clockwork as he had a chance to shop, and the Shattered Glass is complete for Falcondorian, but does not have the Echo, does not have the Clockwork, so the timing on his abilities is still a little bit rough at this point. He's tried to compensate a little bit. There's a little bit of additional cooldown in that Crystal Infusion. He's just picked up level 9, whereas Tassa's is now running out that level 8 Infusion, and 10 and 10 on Muster and Creation.
Jesuino Ferrer goes in with the Holy Nova. Tassa down so low. There's the Gauntlet, but it's blocked out. Wait for it, isn't going to quite connect. Tassa's still alive. Muster low as well, but he's jumping in. He's trying to get on towards that Samuel. He cannot quite take the kill, but the Oblivion comes down as well. There's the Fountain. Is that too late? No, it's not, because Creation's still alive. Muster's dead. Jesuino Ferrer, and it's Falcondorian trying to get the kills in response here. They get a 1-for-1 trade thus far. Tassa trying to run away. They're turning their attentions across towards Youngju. That Arden should be able to get away. Once again, it's the Vox and the Black Feather that fall, and we'll have to continue to keep our eyes on Muster, because if he can keep alive, if he can survive for a couple more seconds in one of these fights, if Jesuino Ferrer gets that Echo and gets a double intervention off, that's where Pain Gaming are really going to come online in these skirmishes.
Yeah, and one of the decent advantages I would say the Vox has here is he's very likely just going to go right into a Metal Jacket and try to cut down that damage that Creation's able to do. Now, he does have the Piercing Spear. He's probably going to go into that Bone Saw. But again, you know, trying to live long enough on this Vox is key for their success. Creation, however, he's probably not going into a Metal Jacket. He's very likely going into an Atlas Pauldron so that when he can get to that back line, he can try to slow up the Vox's attack speed. If it gets blocked, however, though, the base stats of that Atlas Pauldron are much lower than the Metal Jacket, so the damage trade out at that point should go in favor of Sir Muster.
I totally agree with you, and I think just looking at these fights, it's almost astounding, almost unrealistic to see just how well Pain Gaming are playing in this series. Like, everyone expected them to roll over. Everyone expected an Ace Gaming 3-0, and now Pain are saying, oh no, you don't. We're here. We're here to fight. We're here to represent our region and go back to Brazil with that Vainglory trophy as well, and they're well on their way towards it. They have started up the gold mine. A flank opportunity is here for Ace, trying to cut him in from 2 sides, but Jesuino Ferrer is having none of that. He goes forward with the Holy Nova, has the Echo for a double intervention if he needs it. He can pray to the gods of the Halcyon Fold, but they're going to engage onto Tassa instead. Muster versus Tassa, that's the big trade. The immense gold payout goes over to Pain, and now the fight has truly begun in the jungle. The engage from Muster on towards Tassa, but Tassa's still alive. Creation's jumped in, and he's been untouched because Muster's trying to take out the Samuel. Can he get him in the end? Just about diving in, can't quite get the kill, and it ends up being a 2-for-0 trade in favor of Ace.
Yeah, that's a great turnaround for Ace. Fortunately for Pain, they were able to get that gold mine down, and I'm actually surprised that Ace Gaming was able to come through on that fight. As you know, you talked kind of that pincer maneuver that came in. I thought they were just going to collapse heavily onto Samuel. We'll get into the replay here. So that gold mine's taken. They have such a opportunity to just change much time with their damage split up. It allowed Creation to go ahead and build up a couple stacks there onto Jesuino Ferrer. They turned their attention over to Sir Muster. It was very, very close. He did almost pick up that kill on Tassa. In fact, the minion almost killed Tassa as well, but he makes it out alive. He gets to recall, tops his health off. He'll be good to go.
And how important was it that Jesuino Ferrer was the first to fall? Still has the intervention, still had the echo, wasn't able to get any of those massive, impactful abilities off in the fight. Great stuff from Creation, you have to say, to focus down that target. He had the opportunity. Once again, we enter a little bit of a stalemate in this game. Basically no gold in it. There's a 1,000 gold lead for Pain Gaming, but that doesn't matter a jot at this moment. Creation now finished triple weapon item and a metal jacket to try and keep himself alive against Muster. Muster's sitting on the double weapon item and the coat of plates. Hasn't really been able to get towards that metal jacket yet. Here comes the Oblivion, blocked out. Pain willing to continue this trade because they know Muster's getting the stacks. He's at 10. The wounds coming out, the damage onto Youngju as well. Creation and Tassa force back. Youngju's going to put down the gauntlet. They're looking for Jesuino Ferrer. There's the fountain as well, but Ace Gaming are on the back foot. They're having to run for the wins. They're having to get back behind their turret because Pain Gaming are not giving up. Jesuino Ferrer's low, has the intervention, has a fountain left as well, and Pain Gaming can just back away. Will they look for the turret, or will they count this as a win? I think they want a little bit more. They're going for the Treant, trying to get the healing back onto Muster. Tassa takes a massive chunk of damage with the Mad Mojo across the wall. Can't quite get the kill, but Muster isn't giving up yet. He wants that. He takes down the Samuel. He sends him back to the Sanctuary, and now Pain Gaming are diving between the turrets. They do not care that you are the Korean champions. They do not care that you are the favorites for the tournament. They do not care at all. They take the ace, and Ace get wrecked by Pain Gaming.
Yeah, I hear some excited fans down there in the stage. Pain has really stepped things up. And as we get into this replay, it was a crazy one. Again, another really long, drawn-out fight. They turn their attention down to this Crystal Sentry. They clean it up, and a beautiful Bad Mojo over the wall connects onto Tassa, 751 damage. And Sir Muster comes in, cleans things up. Beautiful stun onto Creation. No Rose offensive to get him out. And, you know, 1, 2, 3, line him up, and
It's the
Pain takes him down.
It's the confidence from Pain to do that as well. You get demolished in game one, you get perfect gamed, and then you say, nah, we're just going to dive between your turrets. Muster's just going to run through your entire team and get to the backline. They get the ace. They broken that choke point turret yet, though, so they have 3 turrets to try and get through if they're going to try and close out the game.
They did it last game.
Yeah.
So very well within the realm of possibility here. Boots are used by Falcon Dorian. Can we see this fight? Can we see Pain end the game here?
Those offensive away. The Drifting Dart's going to come out as well, and Pain take a step back. They take a breath. They take a moment to reevaluate this fight because the Kraken's coming in. Pain Gaming want this. The Oblivion blocked out, but Muster is quite low. The jump in. There goes the Ordain. Blocked out from the stun. The Fearsome Shade as well will be removed by Ace. They're going to get back towards the Sanctuary. They're going to heal up. That Kraken's down to about half. It's all on Muster. It's all on these breaking points. It's all on Pain as they look to take a 2-1 lead over Ace Gaming. The Brazilian pride of the South American region are fighting against the Korean champions at the moment, and they are doing a lot of work. They've taken down one, they're looking for more. Creation's trying to dive up towards the top side, but the Kraken is there on the crystal now. It's all on Pain, and they should close this one out. They're going to take a 2-1 lead, and they are 1 game away from the semi-finals.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And we've got to be thankful to have Iraqi and Munchables on the desk cheering for